day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you for coming back. For those who have been with me for a while. For those who are new, welcome to the channel. So this channel, we cover a lot of stuff about wealth building. And one of them is money, tips to saving money, how to make more money, invest in our money, side jobs, gig work, careers, all those things that will help you build money, starting your own business. So anyway, we're getting into the subject of cryptocurrency because I believe, and most people believe, that this is going to be the wave of the future in money. So for those of us who are afraid of it, best way to conquer that fear, knowledge is power. So you get educated on it, right? I'm not the only one with YouTube channels on this. I'm sure there's several more out there. But it's good to learn from different people with different perspectives, and everybody teaches in a different way. So you find what works for you. I appreciate everybody coming here, by the way. These videos are not intended to be super long. I'll break them down into parts. We've already had several other videos about cryptocurrency, but the more you keep learning about it, the better you will be more comfortable when it becomes a norm in our society. So let me take my face off of here. Okay. So, what we've already discussed. Okay, in previous videos, I like to do a little review because I feel like I do have a background in teaching, so most of my best teachers go back and review. I'm not going to review every little thing because I want you to watch the videos, but just so you know, I'm not an expert on this. I'm learning this myself, and I go to the top people when I'm trying to learn something, which for financial stuff is usually Kiplinger, Money Mag, and Harvest Business Review. If you have any others, be sure and let me know in the comments, or let all of us know, okay? Okay, so I just wanted to point that out so y'all don't think I'm like making this stuff up. Where are you getting all this information? So some of the things that we talked about is, of course, Bitcoin is one of them. There's another one out there that I cannot remember off the top of my head. Let me see if I can look it up. And no, I can't remember. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there is another one that's really popular, and it is stable coins. That's it. So stable coins and Bitcoins are the two most popular right now. What did we also discuss? We discussed that this is going to be pretty common in the next 10 to 20 years. We have about 13% of we have 11% currently that are investing in crypto, and I'm taking a wild guess that it is probably the most wealthy people that can afford to take risk and lose money, because they're still working on this. This is a work in progress, and you don't want to be in 10 to 20 years still carrying around a checkbook if we've already moved on past that, okay? That's basically why it's the same with technology. You need to get educated so that you can stay in the workforce, have a career. Whatever your career is, you need to stay on top of whatever the trends are that are coming, as with any career, right? And with money. So we also discussed in some of the previous videos that there's going to be hot and cold wallets that are going to be able to store your transactions. And I'm going to say these are probably going to be like our bank accounts, but they're not really set up like bank accounts. But these are going to keep all your transactions safe, away from people going in and stealing your transactions, because that is one of the main problems that people are so scared of doing this, is because we don't want our investments that we work hard for to be stolen. So you can't typically invest directly into crypto through a standard brokerage account, but if you'd rather avoid the exchanges and want crypto exposure, you could invest in an exchange-traded fund that buys future contracts tied to Bitcoin prices. Such as ProShares Bitcoin Strategy EFT, a spot ETF. I'm sorry, ETF, not EFT. Also, I wanted you to know that I explain decentralized versus centralized platforms in some of my other videos, so that you can understand what we're talking about. When you hear this kind of language, you will understand it. The Security and Exchange Commission has not yet approved ETF trades on actual prices of Bitcoin that would provide another regulated vehicle. Other options include the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the Grayscale Ethereum, ETHEREUM Trust, which is $20, which are funds that provide price exposures to cryptocurrency listed in their names. Annual expenses for any of these trusts are about 2% to 2.5% of the expenses. That's pretty high. Their shares can trade at a premium or discount to their underlying assets. So among stocks to consider, companies that are involved in blockchain, which I explained blockchain in one of my other videos. So if you haven't watched them, you need to go back and get it's an elementary beginner's breakdown of what all of these terms mean. Crypto and a retirement account. Retirement plans are cracking open the door to crypto investing, and Fidelity recently announced that it will allow Bitcoin investments in its 401k, the first one to do so. Although it will be up to companies administering the plans whether to include Bitcoin as an option for their employees. So you may see that within the next 10 to 20 years. You may see some companies offering Bitcoin as a way to invest for the future. Right now, the volatility, the fraud risks, the evolving regulations, and other issues that come up with crypto, the Labor Department has serious concerns about the decision to expose a 401k plan to participants for investments in crypto. So they're, like I said, we're all nervous about it. We don't understand it. We have a lot of things to overcome before this becomes a norm. But we are in the first stages of this, and I do believe, and most people in this area believe that in the next 10 to 20 years it will become a norm. So you need not be afraid of it. Knowledge is power. Get educated right now, and then when you're ready, you could, and before, you need to have all your debt paid off too, by the way, because this is more like an investment right now. So you don't start investing until you got all your consumer debt paid off. You don't want to have $20,000 in credit cards and try and invest in crypto. That's not the plan here. This is a wealth building channel, so we're not going to emphasize keeping debt, especially consumer debt. I mean, house debt is a different thing altogether, but consumer debt and then trying to invest a lot of money in anything. To invest in crypto through an IRA, you generally need to use a self-directed IRA, which specializes in non-traditional investments. And the self-directed IRAs usually have higher fees than a standard IRA. So, again, you need to do your homework, which is basically what we're doing right now. We're doing our homework to make sure that we use a reputable plan. We check with the state securities regulations, the SEC, to ensure the provider has subject to enforcement actions. Investing in crypto through a retirement plan comes with a lot of the same caveats as through an exchange. So you need to have a firm grasp of why you're investing in it and a high comfort level with the volatility. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, then I wouldn't suggest doing this right now. I would just get educated on it, get out of consumer debt, work on getting more work and getting more money in your bank so that, if you do lose 1%, it's not going to be the end of the world for you. And it shouldn't represent no more than a sliver of your nest egg, 1 to 3% at the most, right? Especially right now, because there's still so many unknowns with this kind of currency. When it comes to taxes, owning a crypto and a tax-deferred retirement account can reduce some of the headaches that come with tracking and reporting crypto gains or losses in a year. If anybody knows anything about the taxes, be sure and let the rest of us know. I mean, the tax man still comes. Where's my little picture? The 1040 tax reform now asks whether you sold, exchanged, or otherwise disposed of any financial interest in a virtual currency. So it is coming. They already have it planned. The tax man is going to come get some money. Crypto transactions may bypass traditional financial networks, but they don't escape the IRS. The 1040 tax return now asks on whether you sold it, disposed of it, and just below the name and address fields at the top of the first page, which is even before you provide information about your dependents or wages. If you purchase virtual currency with real currency and had no other crypto, then for the tax year, you check no. So you will see this more and more on your tax forms in the future. And I think it's already came out in 2021. Just as with stocks and other property, you pay capital gains tax when you sell or exchange crypto. I guess they don't have anything coming. I don't know if they have any way of checking it or not yet. It seems pretty new for them to be able to track it. I don't know how they would track it, but that's interesting. If anybody knows that, please let the rest of us know. This includes trading it for fiat currency, FIAT currency, such as the US dollar, or for different cryptocurrencies, even paying for goods or services with crypto. Anything like that, you got to put it on your tax return. If you incurred a short-term gain, which is taxed at the same rate according to your income. So long-term gains from crypto held more than a year are taxed at a rate of 0 to 20%, depending on your taxable income. So especially for those in high tax brackets, selling at a time when you'll recognize long-term rather than short-term gains would be beneficial. So you need to look at this crypto just like any other investment. If you are going to sell it and get your money, then you will need to report it as such. Now, I don't know how the IRS is tracking it, because normally when we make money, we get some kind of form like a 1099, all those other forms they have out. I don't know how they're tracking the crypto. So I don't know if people can lie about it or not, because I haven't invested in it as of yet. If you sell crypto at a loss, you can offset capital gains. And you can deduct up to $3,000 in capital losses per year against ordinary income. Now, I'm just getting this information from, like I told you, my magazines that I do my homework and research on. If you really want to get involved in this, you could always contact a financial planner. That would be my best suggestion if you're getting really serious about it and you got a lot of money coming onto it, and you think you're going to have a big gain or a big loss that's going to affect your taxes. You definitely want to, if you need an accountant or financial advisor, just let me know and I can hook you up with one. But just so you know that this is not immune. This is not a money laundering. It's not good for money laundering. Okay, you're not going to be able to hide your drug money in here, even though it's been like rumored that a lot of drug dealers do this. And if the IRS has no way of tracking it, then maybe it is. I don't know. So that's a good question. I haven't invested in it yet. I'm just doing my homework, as with most people watching this video. If you want to unload your crypto assets with big gains, then one tax smart strategy is to donate them to charity. it's usually the best to donate crypto you've held for more than a year because you'll avoid the capital gains tax. Boosting the amount you can donate, and if you itemize, you qualify for a tax deduction of the crypto's fair market value. So if you donate appreciated crypto you've held for a year or less, the tax deduction is limited to the cost basis. Now, if all this sounds really confusing to you, then you'll probably need to get a hold of an accountant, okay? Cryptocurrency donations more than $5,000 in value required a qualified appraisal to get the deduction. So you need to ask your tax advisor for a recommendation. Or you can use charitablesolutions.llc.com. Many charities don't accept crypto directly. So, I mean, in 10 to 20 years, they probably will, but right now, no. So some donor-advised funds take crypto contributions and dispense donations in dollars. But donor-advised funds from Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard accept crypto to some extent. So donor-advised fund, Daffy Charitable, Daffy.org. None of these people are paying me, by the way. I'm just passing this along to you if you're planning on getting involved. More than 120 cryptocurrencies along with cash and stock, and you can choose among the standard, which is ESG screen for environmental, social, and governmental standards, and crypto portfolios to invest in the funds. Now, Daffy, which now I'm not talking about Daffy Duck here, I'm talking about Daffy.org, which is donor advised fund. They charge a flat fee of $3 a month for a lifetime limit up to $25,000 in crypto or stock contributions, as well as transfers. So some people are already on this bandwagon, and I'm expecting more within the next 10 to 20 years. CoinLedger tax software allows you to import your transaction history from the crypto exchanges and view your capital gains and losses. So this, if you like to do your taxes yourself without hiring anybody, that could be an option for you. If you like to keep track of them and, make sure that you're not going above or below. This yearly fee ranges from $49 to $2.99, depending on how much you trade. But this will keep track of your portfolio. And CoinLedger will generate reports, including the IRS form. So there is a IRS form. Remember, I was going, how do they track it? The form that they track these cryptos on are 8949, which lists your capital gain and losses. I mean, I'm not sure. 100%, I still don't really get how they would track that because it's not going through a bank. But anyway, I think it's just based on being honest. But anyway, that's all about some of the taxes. The tax information on. Okay, the next video that we're going to cover is going to go over scam alerts. I'm not going to do that in this video. So this video we're going to end because it's getting kind of long. I appreciate everybody. And stay tuned for more crypto education. I appreciate you all.